What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Wolfcryer here, and today we're going to talk about the upcoming patch 2.6.4 headed to the PTR this week for Season 16 in Diablo 3. Alright, so the Diablo team announced that patch 2.6.4 is coming to the PTR this Wednesday, November 21st. And this is going to be for Season 16's Season of Grandeur, in which you will no longer need to farm that Royal Ring of Grandeur. Instead, you will automatically have it for every class all the time. So you will only need 5 pieces of every single 6-piece set out there. As this post says, it is pretty game breaking. Now, those builds that required that Ring of Royal Grandeur no longer need it, so they can slot another jewelry item. And for those builds that did not use it at all, can now actually slot another piece of gear in place of one of their set items, totally changing many builds. This is probably, in my opinion, the best season theme so far. It definitely changes up the game, which is what I was hoping seasons were going to do, is change the game, break it up a little bit, and bring things to another level. And hopefully this does it, and it's going to be crazy testing this both on the PTR and in the real season for Season 16. This is going to be a short PTR, about a 1-week PTR, and that means that most of these items will go live as is. And that's going to be pretty crazy because the buffs coming up for many of the class sets is absolutely insane. But let's talk about the quality of life changes coming up, and then we'll go through the rest of the posts that they put up. All right, first up we have PTR Details starting Wednesday, November 21st. As I said, during the course of the PTR, there may be periodic maintenances, outages, hotfixes, or minor patches. And you will have those 2 buffs active to help you on your PTR journey, and that's the increased legendary drop rate and double blood shards. This is going to let you build up your sets, your gear, get everything you need to really be able to dive in and test some of these builds out. And you will be able to give feedback on the PTR forum, and that's very good. If you're gonna be doing the testing, definitely drop them a line as far as what you've noticed, especially with any bugs or any massive breakages in the game, because they want you to break the game if possible. They want to see what exactly everybody can do. So group play, solo play, let's see what these builds are capable of. So you want to be pushing the high-level GRs both in solo and group play, as I said, and you want to mix and match different class sets, different builds, see what you can do. And your best bet, if you're going to be participating in this, focus on one class. I personally am going to be focusing on the monk because that one actually excites me very much, because one of those builds, one of those class sets for the monk is just absolutely insanely buffed, and it's probably my favorite set for the monk. Now, in this post, it's weird because they said that prior to the start of the PTR, you want to stack up on things like puzzle rings, bovine bardishis, that sort of thing. But usually it's been where PTR testing for seasons, you have to create a season character and actually test it out that way. Hopefully non-season is going to be included in this. I can't remember the last PTR. It's been that long ago that I can't remember if you were able to test these items on non-season characters, especially with that seasonal buff. So hopefully that seasonal buff applies to non-season characters as well, because I don't think I'm going to have time to rush a level 1 all the way to 70 and then gear up many sets in order to test this as much as I want to. So hopefully that's something they're working on. Hopefully it's non-season characters that you get this Royal Ring of Grandeur buff and all the other buffs as well. Now, for the quality of life stuff, this is pretty cool. The legendary drops for Primal Ancients will now have a red beam and a specific marker on the map to tell you a Primal is on the map. This is something that actually has been requested by the community in general. I've seen it on posts during my videos. I've seen it in comment sections of other people's videos, as well as on the forums. Some way to let you know that a Primal Ancient has dropped without the need for identifying it. So this is going to be pretty cool to see that red beam show up and you know instantly there's a Primal Ancient on the ground. I am really looking forward to that part because that just makes that whole loot finding experience all the better in my opinion. The other thing you get is 5 additional armory tabs, which is good because in this, you're going to want to be testing out many different builds for each class. So those extra armory slots, they're going to help you out a lot. I just wish there were more stash tabs as well, because testing multiple classes and multiple builds during the season and on the PTR is going to be rough with that limited amount of stash space. They've also fixed that whole switching your Paragon points in the middle of a greater rift, which some people complained was a bug or exploit, and this is no longer going to be a problem. You will not be able to change your Paragon points mid-rift. It'll act just like your gear and all of that. So that's actually a pretty good thing. Keeps people from switching up their Paragon. You go into a rift with what you got, and you come out with whatever you went in with. And that's the way it should be, and it should have been that way for quite a while. Pretty much since the inception of Greater Rifts, it should have been this way, and now it is. All right, now, the Season of Grandeur. The Ring of Royal Grandeur is no longer needed. That's a crazy season theme because, like I said earlier, it's going to pretty much break a ton of builds in the fact that you are going to be able to add one piece of gear, whether that be a jewelry slot for those that did wear the royal ring, or you're going to be able to add that extra piece of gear because now you only need 5 pieces to complete your set. This is going to change up some of the builds and actually make them even more powerful on top of the buffs already given in this patch for each individual class set. This is a crazy season theme, and this is the type of stuff I was hoping for with these whole themed seasons. I mean, double goblins, double bounties, all that's pretty nice and all, but something like this that actually changes the meta, changes the way you think about the game, changes the way you think about making your builds is something that's really good for the game. I'm not expecting a ton of content. Those days are pretty much gone. If you're looking for new content as far as classes, skills, gear, stuff like that, the odds are against that coming to this game. This game is pretty much, it is what it is. I personally do not expect going forward there to be a ton of content added to the game. Diablo 3 is what it is. Similar to Diablo 2 is what Diablo 2 is. They're not adding new stuff anymore. They do minimal patches, they do ban waves, they do quality of life stuff here and there, but not a lot of content is coming to the game. And that's kind of what I'm expecting for Diablo 3 going forward. But if they can do stuff like this every now and then, just to keep people interested, just to add a new twist to the game, I'm definitely okay with that. I enjoy playing Diablo 3, I enjoy playing other games, and I will continue to play Diablo 3 as long as they throw something in the game that mixes it up a bit. And this season theme definitely does that. All right, now for the class set changes. This is where things get absolutely ridiculous. First up, Legacy of Nightmares. The 2-piece set bonus, the damage goes from 100% for every single ancient piece of gear that you have equipped to 500%. That is a 6,500% damage increase compared to the old 1,300% damage increase for this set. Now, with the buffs to the other sets for every class and that sort of thing, I still don't know if LON is going to be viable endgame as far as being able to overtake other builds, but I'm sure there's going to be a couple LON builds that will be able to be revived with this buff. And then we're looking at big buffs for the Barbarian sets, Raycor, Mortal Kings, Might of the Earth, and Wrath of the Wastes. Wrath of the Wastes by itself goes from 3,000% damage increase to 10,000% damage increase. Might of the Earth, 5,600% to 20,000% damage increase. These are crazy buffs. I initially thought that 2.6.1 was really game-breaking as far as the amount of damage increase, but this patch totally blows that out of the water. It's absolutely insane the amount of buffs that are coming. This is not power creep. This is pretty much slamming your head into a pile of power repeatedly, because these builds, these sets are going to do massive, massive amounts of damage. I do expect 10 to 15 GR increases due to some of these upgrades. And that's absolutely insane. And personally right now, I don't know what the meta is going to be going into this. I will be doing testing. Everybody's going to be doing testing all over the place. Metas for both solo play and group play right now are up in the air, and they'll probably still be up in the air when this season goes live, because we only have 1 week of this PTR, and that's absolutely crazy. Crusaders also getting buffed across the board except for Akans. Akans is not getting a buff, but Thorns of the Invoker, Roland's, and Seeker of Light are all getting buffed. The Seeker of Light build, the Blessed Hammer build there, is going from 2,000% damage increase to 12,000% damage increase. That is absolutely crazy. Demon Hunter's another one. Embodiment of the Marauder, Unhallowed Essence, Natalia's, and Shadow's Mantle, all with heavy, heavy buffs. Now you're looking at some combinations of these sets going to be able to put out insane amounts of damage. And then we've got my favorite class with the Monk. Ulianis gets a massive damage increase from 2,100% to 9,000% damage increase. Inez is going to be the one build that I am heavily looking forward to testing, because it goes from 150% to 1,500% damage increase per Mystic Ally. So that is a 1,500% damage bonus that you currently get on the Inez Mantra set for everything is now going to go to 15,000% damage increase. That puts builds like Inez LTK, Inez Wave of Light, Inez Tempest Rush, Inez EP, Exploding Palm, Inez Generator, and Inez Pet build all on the table with this Inez buff, because that is 10 times what it is currently. That is absolutely insane. We will be doing heavy testing with the Inez set on my stream during this week, so make sure you stop on by twitch.tv/Wolfcryer. We'll be testing out Monk heavily, and mostly we're going to be testing out what Inez can do, because that is absolutely insane. The Sun Wuko's Wave of Light set, or LTK set, that goes from 1,000 to 1,500% damage increase per stack of your Sweeping Wind. So that's a 15,000% damage increase as well, which matches Inez. So it got a buff, but not as much as the rest of the builds for the Monk, and that's going to balance things out for the class sets. I do think Inez currently, from what I'm looking at, is just going to be absolutely crazy. Raiment of 1,000 Storms also got big buffs. The 2-piece set bonus from 100% to 400% increased damage to your spirit generators, and the 6-piece got buffed from 1,300% to 6,000% generator damage. It's absolutely insane. Now you take that 2-piece Raiment set and you combine it with that Inez Mantra set, and you're looking at Inez Generator is going to be doing some massive amounts of damage. Necromancer did not get much. They got 3,300% to 3,800% for their Traggles Avatar set. Trags is the only thing that got buffed, but fear not, Necromancer fans, because you do still get that Royal Ring of Grandeur buff. And that's going to allow you to slot one more piece of gear, which could change things up entirely for some of those builds. So keep that in mind. Plus, let's face it, Necromancer's been OP for quite a while. Pestilence, you really can't buff that. Rathmas, it's already been rat runs forever now. And if you buff Rathmas, you're going to have another season of rat runs. I don't think rat runs is going to be able to do what other classes are going to be able to do as far as the speed of clearing high-level GRs. And that's pretty cool if they can actually have proven that they broke rat runs, because that changes up the game entirely. And Witch Doctor and Wizard both got heavy increases as well. Erikir's, Helltooth, Jade, and Zunamasa's for the Witch Doctor all got massive damage increases, and the Wizards, Talrashas, Delceray's Magnum Opus, and Veers also all got massive damage increases. Firebirds did not for the Wizard, at least not in this current iteration of this patch. So you're looking at massive quantities of damage increases across the board for all classes, with the exception of, like I said, that Necromancer class. But a lot of their builds are already game-breaking and have been since the inception of the Necromancer. So it's very cool to see how this is going to all play out. I will definitely be streaming it, and I will definitely be making videos and guides going into this upcoming season, because it's definitely something. Is it content, ladies and gentlemen? No, but like I said, I do not expect a massive amount of content coming to Diablo 3. Diablo 3 is in maintenance mode, but if they can leave it in maintenance mode and do this type of stuff every now and then and change the game up entirely so that we actually have to think and figure out what the meta is and what's the strongest build and all that sort of stuff, I'm okay with that, because that to me is what I look forward to, especially as a content creator for YouTube. This allows me to actually have content to produce, and I'm looking forward to bringing that all to you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, definitely, if you're not subscribed to this channel, hit that subscribe button down below. Don't forget to like this video, and I want to hear your thoughts in that comment section down below of your thoughts on patch 2.6.4 and what you think this season is going to be as far as the meta. Do you have any clue what build you're looking forward to playing? What build you think is going to be the strongest for whichever class you love the most? I want to hear those comments down below, so definitely drop me a line. I love reading all your comments. Also, I have drawn the winner to this month's contest, and as soon as I hear back from them, we will start up a new contest for the channel, probably another Steam gift card giveaway. That announcement will be coming soon, so hang tight for that. And thank you all so very much for taking the time out of your day to watch my video. I always greatly appreciate it. You guys are absolutely amazing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you so very much, and you all have a fantastic day. Peace.